and then we'll talk, and then people will just join us. Hello, it's Natalie from Creative Makers. I'm wearing my sunglasses. I hope you don't mind. We're sitting out in the sun. Is this okay for you?
Yes.
You can take it? Okay.
I'm from Africa.
Oh. God.
Compton, Africa.
Yeah. Oh, hello, whoever just joined us. I'm glad you missed that first part. It's me, Natalie, from Creative Makers, and I'm sitting here with Derrick Maddox, my good friend. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And he used to live across the street from us until he abandoned us to live with and take care of your mom. Right?
Yeah. Do battle.
Anyway, Derrick is an artist, art school trained, went to art center. No, not art center. I'm sorry, Cal Arts, right? Cal Arts.
Same thing. Yeah.
Cal Arts. What was your major?
Art, fine art.
Fine art. Just everything and anything? More conceptual? No?
Well, it was a conceptual school, so
yeah.
Fine art.
Anyway, so he went to school, and he's been shown in, which museum was that we went to downtown? The
CAM?
Yeah. What's it called?
The California African Museum.
Thank you. I wanted to say African American Museum, but I knew that those weren't the initials. I couldn't remember. Sorry.
Okay. February
of 2018? 2019?
Black History Month.
Oh, Black History Month. Save me. Just save me.
The setup was cool, huh?
Yeah,
that was good.
A good setup, yeah. Sure. Anyway, all right. So Derrick, first question. You ready?
Okay. Let me compose.
Focus.
Yeah, let me compose.
Focus.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to ask you the same question I ask everybody. Were you a creative kid?
I'm extremely creative.
Well, how did it show up? What'd you do?
Basically, I was a mischievous kid.
Troublemaker?
So, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
On the highest level. On the highest level. So, in order to contain that, my parents created a prison system for me and my brother, basically.
I hope this is just...
No, this is real.
This is real?
And,
a prison system?
Oh, yeah.
Please explain.
And I was in solitary confinement for most of my youth. So it would start off like this, all right? So you get up and you have a bowl of cereal. You put the bowl of... You got to go to school. Put the bowl of cereal in the sink. Go take your shower. And then you meet the guards and the warden. They're like, what is this? What do you mean, what is this? Why is this bowl in the sink? Well, I was going to clean it. I was just taking a shower so I could go to school. And they're like, this is not good. You need to take every bowl, pot, and pan, freaking spoon, the dog bowl, and clean it out with a toothbrush.
Oh my gosh, this is your punishment?
Oh, yeah.
And this is what happened all the time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then it was like, now you can't go out. School just ended. It's summertime. Now you can't go out for 8 months unless you gotta go to the bathroom or eat.
Oh my gosh. All right, so this does not sound fun.
No, it's not. So in
was
terms
this
of
all
that,
through childhood?
Yeah, basically, because I had elder siblings, and they would get them in trouble, and I literally got my ass beat for my brother getting a bad report card, literally.
And you got blamed because somehow you were supposed to prevent that?
No. I got my butt beat because I might be influenced by my brother to do bad in school, right? And school was like my sanctuary.
Your brother did bad, so therefore you're not allowed to do bad, and I'm going to spank you even before you've done bad to prevent you from being bad.
Yeah. Like that Tom Cruise movie. like. But anyways, So in and that time frame, whatever you want to call it, I developed my own world. Right into my own world, I'm a superhero, and no one can stop me. Right? No one can fucking stop me. So I would just observe everything, learn about colors, shapes, how people interact, moods, and I would apply it and just leave it for people on the street.
Really? You were like leaving guerrilla street art?
Yeah. Sometimes I would get to see people look at it, sometimes I would not. One of the most beautiful things that I ever did was at Cal Arts, and it was like in my first year as a graduate student. They gave us a studio. Those are the only two ways I was gonna go. Not take graduate tests, and if they gave me a studio. So, when I got there, my intention was to build something so mind-boggling, amazing for the people who had to tear it down that they were like, "What the fuck?" Right? And it was, and it's like this thing where you intuitively know how to do something. Somehow I made this like primitive design made out of dirt and salt that had people like pondering, wondering, what the hell is this? But the best part of it was, I like to have my fun. So I was at a party, right? So I got a little looped up, and I'm going back to my studio. I wanted to do work, but to smoke some weed as well. So, but when I got to my studio, I found that I'd locked myself out, right? And so the only way to get in was to climb the wall. So I climbed the wall, and as I climbed the wall, I see the visual. It's almost like, you're watching a film and you're watching one scene fade into another. And I was like, wow, everyone who has to see this has to climb the wall, right?
So you were actually seeing your art on the other side of the wall from a different perspective.
Correct.
And it
Correct.
just boggled your mind.
It just flipped me out. So that's when I'm a devious guy, so I decided to get devious. So they send this, no, they put these fucking, it's like fucking, what's that, MASH, that old army movie, right? You get your mailbox and they just have your name, they stuff shit in it, right? So you go in there and check it, you have to check it every day, right? And they're like, I called it the Gang of 12. The Gang of 12 is coming to your studio Thursday at 12 o'clock.
Were these like the administrators and people that were just checking to see what you were doing and seeing your progress or whatever?
All the teachers in the art department, including the dean, right?
Wow.
So they come up and, I'm giving my spiel. Talking
the talk?
Yeah,
walking the walk?
Oh, yeah, before that, though, you had a meeting with your your mentor. And, I'm not going to mention any names or whatever, but my mentor, we were talking, and he's like, you know what? Your art is Nietzsche pessimism. I'm like, what? What the fuck is Nietzsche pessimism? All right, marinate on that. Okay, back to the Gang of 12. So I'm telling them all about my thing, and they're like, well, we want to see the art now. Okay, fine. And they're looking at me. I'm looking at them. They're looking at me. I'm looking at them. This goes on for about 10 minutes. And they're like, we're getting rather tired of being here. And I'm like, well.
Were you supposed to, like, talk to them about it?
They're supposed to see the art so they can talk amongst themselves.
Oh.
Right? So
I'm like, I don't understand what was supposed to happen there. Okay. Why were you getting tired?
Let me continue. And I said, well, you know what? In order for you to see the art, you have to climb the walls. They're like, what? Who? The fuck? This is $1,000 suit. I'm not climbing the fucking wall. I'm like, if you went into Compton, Watts in the middle of the night and you needed to get to the highway and you had to walk up to a service station, what would you do? You would ask someone so you could get over the wall. And some people can't get over the wall if they're fucking handicapped. So what do? You help them up.
Oh.
So then they get in their little gaggle and they choose the youngest professor to get up, whose name is Bruce, right? So Bruce gets
So
up there.
you didn't provide them anything like a ladder or anything to make it easy. They had to make the physical climb.
Does life provide you anything?
Sometimes. Honestly.
Anything.
Sometimes.
When you come out the womb, you are butt naked.
This is true.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
So Bruce climbs up and he's looking and he's all like, there's just dirt and salt. And they're like, what? Dirt and salt? Then all of a sudden, they're all lifting each other up to see what the fuck's going on. And that was the point. Anytime you meet someone, there is a wall. You just can't go 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Sometimes you have to go 1,000 times to break through. It's compassion.
We're getting a lot here. All right. I mean, this is the essence of who you are as a person, honestly, from what I know of you. I mean, because this is what you're about anyway. You're about meeting people, letting them discover who you are and the things about you and your art. Right?
And discover themselves.
Right. And you share to a certain point, and then you're just like, that's it. I've got no more. You want to know more, you're going to have to come for it. Yeah.
Or it's within.
So, okay. So I'm going to go back for a second because we're all out of alignment here, but whatever alignment that is. So, all right. So you were a kid. You were basically, your parents kept you pretty locked down. And so in that lockdown, you learned to use your imagination and your skills to basically take yourself out, right? So take yourself out in an artistic way. You got to be careful the way I say that sort of thing. And so that persevered all the way through, right?
Yeah.
Now, were your parents that hard on you the whole time, all the way until you left the house?
It's like I was talking to my mom the other day, and I'm like, you don't even know what I do. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you don't. And she's like, no response. You see what I'm saying? So to travel this mystery without any guidance is a hard thing for anybody. I don't care, race, religion, sex, whatever you want to call it. I don't care.
So, okay, so it persevered then is what I'm taking from this. All right, so then you end up in school. I know that you were an art star and that you were just always thinking outside of the box and doing your thing.
I wasn't an art star. I was an oddity. I brought life to the campus. Or some person called me an enigma. I'm like, what the fuck is that? But I would travel across campus, which was about 2.4 miles, with a skateboard and a giant boulder, and just pull it around. And I had I always changed my haircut, but this particular time it was all bald except for the top, like it is now, and it had "fuck you" on.
Classic art school.
So when I would go to the store, or especially I'm talking to professors and they were saying shit I didn't like, I'd just scratch my head. But that's just my own.
So you were doing
thing.
the whole time you were in school, you were a performance piece.
Performance art. And shit. people are gonna think I'm an idiot, but
Nobody thinks that.
when I was there, Alan, what's his last name?
Don't name names.
He was the father of performance art, and he came up to me and he was like, "Man, I really love what you're doing, right?" And I didn't even know who this guy was. You know what I mean? So.
But you knew what you were doing, right?
I was having fun. You know what I mean?
But later, did you look at it and you're like, right?
Well, yeah. You know, later, like, you know, you have to analyze your actions. You know, because are they done with intention or no intention? That is the key. And everything I do is with intention. There ain't nothing I do that doesn't have a meaning. Period. Point blank.
I think this is true for everybody, but whether they're aware is another story.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right. Everybody does everything with intention. You just don't know what the intention is in the given moment.
Yeah.
So I mean, that particular moment in time when you're riding around your skateboard and you're riding around with
I'm not riding, I'm pulling.
You're pulling. Right. Well, I was going to say you're pulling this boulder.
Oh, this weight that you have to pull around.
I mean, I was going to say, let's face it, that can be looked at in so many different ways. You know, I mean, I can see 3 or 4 different ways just without even considering too much.
Because it's all about metaphor. You know what I mean? You don't have to, what do they say, less is more. That's it.
So people in this group are all about using any means possible to make their creativity come alive. So they're just all about not being in just one medium.
Oh, yeah.
They're, you know, you see something, you pick it up, you see that twig over there or whatever, and it calls to you.
Yeah.
It becomes part of your
art.
Yeah. So in that way, I mean, I know that you've dabbled in all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about, you had a whole show around bread slices.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell everybody what that was about, and how you came about it, and what it shaped up to be?
Wow.
I mean, because that piece that really stands out to me. I mean, you've had a lot of standout work, but I mean, when I think about that, I think about capitalism, I think about white privilege, I think about, you know, everything.
Yeah. Well, you have to think about the whole process of.
First, describe the work to people so that they sort of have an idea.
The work is basically like taking pop icons and images and depictions of society and placing them visually on a piece of bread that's undergone an artistic process to have that image adhered to it. And the thing about the bread is the whole process of life. If you think about it, where's the bread come from? It comes hot out of the oven. Where you come from, hot from your mother, right? And so the bread can be sliced up. Each day of your life can be sliced up. It can have its own story each month, each year, each decade, you know, on and on and on. And then there's like, you know, the mass production of bread. If you take Andy Warhol or, you know, with Marilyn Monroe and, you know, just change the colors and people are like, oh no, that's the greatest artist of the world. Or, you know, you could see these little pieces of bread as being like a Scrabble board where you got this message and you got to align them so they are coherent. I often think of it as like you're going through the Soul Train line, right? And they ask you a question and they have all these squares with letters on them and they ask you to decode it. So that's what you're doing in life, is you're trying to decode what your purpose is and where your path is taking you. And so there's all different things like window panes. You can see them as different mosaics or what are those things in churches, the the windows that are all colored or whatever. Stained glass, right? And the stains and wounds that you've sustained through your life, but you're still here. Your friend's still here. It's intact. The welds are still here, right?
Okay, so just one more time, because there's a lot right there. So just basically what you're looking at, and I'm going to simplify this just for my own dumbness. It's a slice of bread that's been treated, and it has images on it.
Correct.
Pop and icon images that are maneuvered in vignettes, basically.
Correct.
That you can read in all different ways. Oh,
Wait.
You don't have some with you.
I don't have.
By the way, we're in San Diego right now. I drove down to see Derrick, and we're sitting right here at Mission Bay. You can see people walking behind us and the water behind us. It's a glorious day, and we're just sitting outside.
No.
Because we can.
Oh my God.
Anyway, this art was really powerful. Because of the connotations, of all the connotations that.
Are you kidding me?
That Derrick just talked about for bread and for the icons and their integration together. They're not going to be able to see that.
Well, wait. You never know.
He's looking at his phone now.
You never know. That's what
I don't know. This is tight in the sun.
Okay. Oh, no.
So a few years ago, Derrick moved to San Diego. He got tired of life in LA, and it wasn't maybe being all that you thought it should be, right?
No. A little too much ego going on. A little too much ego.
You had a couple of really big shows, like that one that you did with your friend, that your friend set up his studio for you.
Yeah.
But I know that did not work out the way you were hoping.
That again, that's one of those things of being human.
Have you spoken to Henry since?
No, I have not. And I don't know if I will, because it is. I'm gonna let this go in a second.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Anyway, Derrick's art is mostly, I would say from my standpoint, and Derrick can correct me here, is mostly conceptual, but takes all forms.
It's only conceptual, baby.
Conceptual.
No,
yeah.
just
but mostly conceptual, and takes all forms. So it really ventures into the sculptural. It's always, to me, it's always 3D and never 2D. Right?
No.
Yeah, it's never flat. He did, when we first moved in, you brought me a whole bunch of handmade paper that you had made from all the trash you had found on our street. I still have that paper, and I cherish it, and every now and then I want to paint on it, and I don't paint on it because I don't want to ruin the paper.
It's for painting.
I know.
That is the.
But it is so beautiful, and little pieces of trash, things that we only find in our neighborhood, like plastic bags and things that are just our neighborhood yum donut wrappers, because it's right down the street from where he used to live.
That's not.
Forget it. This isn't working out.
All right, wait 1 second. It's gonna work out.
People want to talk to you.
I'm going to talk to them. Wait one second, real quick. Okay, because you got me going on. Oh, all right, here.
You found something?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if people are going to be able to see
Okay, we don't know. So,
here, I'm going to try and do this. I don't know that you can see any of this. Is this the room at
That
Henry's?
is the very first art object I've ever made.
They can hear you.
That is the very first art object I've ever made.
You don't have to yell. You've got a microphone on.
Oh. All right. I thought, so that's it. So we're not scrolling anymore. All right, we good?
We're good. I think they can see it. I hope they can see it. So this is the first. Which one is this? Oh.
I'll send it to you.
Is this the salt and dirt one?
Where, they had to climb over.
Send it to me, and then I can post it in the group so people can see it.
All right.
Because this is hard.
All right, so we're back.
We're back.
Hi.
Okay, so let's talk about the creative process for you. Because for you, it's entangled with spirituality and who you are. It's always entangled with spirituality and who you are. But you are super aware of this. This is not what I see in every artist, or at least not on a conscious level where they're talking about it. Can you talk about how those things meld together for you?
Well,
what are you ultimately trying to always convey with your art?
Okay, so basically, it's like a dream or meditation, right? And before you enter the dream or the meditation, you ask permission, right, to release the message that is supposed to be delivered to whoever it's delivered. I call all of my stuff that I do like urban mandalas, right? They reach everyone at their level. If you're a freaking, brain surgeon, you're going to see that. You're going to see fractal design for that. If you're a numbskull, you're going to see a fractal design for that. So my thing is, when I enter this quote-unquote dream, which is to exit my front door and go into the real world, is a transformation, right? And now everything is magical, and it blings, right? There's things that shine brighter and things that shine lesser. And the thing to be able to discern is that item's or object's power. Just because it doesn't gleam as much as the next one doesn't mean it's not as powerful. So, I like to walk down things that are symbolic. Like for me, I always love the train tracks or the water, the ocean, because it's the other side. It's the underworld, right? Wrong side of the tracks. It's the shadow work we need to do. So I want to find those pieces and display them. And so it's an interaction of energy. There's no calling of names, insulting of races, degrading of sexes. It's just a personal thing. And that's always my intention at the highest level.
And that for you comes out in every which way possible. How do you start a piece of work? Do you have an idea, or are you just walking and thinking, and then you see, let's grab a tinfoil, and you're like, I can do something? It's reminding me of something.
The simplest way to explain it is how did Beethoven create music? Did he create a whole symphony all at one time, like 5 minutes? No, he did not. He heard something first, and it stirred in him. And when we talk about visual art, that's the only art that talks about the channel or the person creating art being the creator of the art. You are not. You are the channel. And if you don't understand that, you're gonna just make some fucking Roy Lichtenstein shit. You know what I mean?
I just told everybody how you feel about Roy Lichtenstein.
There's another dude I'm trying to figure out who's did all the Post magazines. Freaking
Norman Rockwell?
Yeah, even that dude. Like, you know what? Because that is the process of mind control. Is your imagination is God. So if they control your imagination, if they control what a superhero is to you, then you're limited, right? And so,
my question is, though, how would they control that? Because, they're putting the image on the page, whatever that page may look like.
Or the movie.
But it's your mind that develops the answer and the symbolism to it. It has to be filtered through you anyway, and through you and your God.
Okay.
right?
I would ask you
Am
this
I missing
question.
something?
I would ask you this question. Okay. So between a movie,
Yeah.
um, the radio,
Yeah.
and a book,
Yeah.
where are you using your imagination the most?
I can see what you're getting at, and I'm going to go down the book road, honestly.
And that's what it's all about.
But I mean, even then, the writer uses descriptive words in a particular
He has
order,
intention.
right? With intention, exactly,
He
because
has
he's trying to
intention.
steer your idea of what it is. But ultimately, nobody can steer that but you.
I mean, um, anything creative goes through that process. No one can destroy your chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, now we're gonna fight.
No. They can make their own damn chocolate. You want to put fucking nuts in your shit? Go ahead, over there. But my chocolate chip cookies are my chocolate chip cookies. And again, that's the beauty of it, is to let kids bloom. I was working in this, I'm gonna say halfway house because I don't,
That's okay.
know a better word. And this kid wanted to go to college so bad. He would study so hard, and his dad just wanted him to be a gangster.
Oh, really?
Holy fucking crap! This kid has dreams and ambitions. You want him to go shoot somebody?
That's got to be so hard to watch.
It's like, what are you doing? You don't even know what.
So I'm going to take this in a slightly different direction.
Okay.
Let's talk about making money with art. What are your feelings in this regard?
Well, there's two ways I feel about it, because I once retired from art for like 19 years because I didn't want to have to deal with the whole money exchange and determining the value of my physical and conceptual art. And that was really hard. It was really difficult because I was doing really well, and I always tell people, it's
You were
like
doing really well in terms of art or in terms of money?
everything.
Okay.
I would tell people I was like the story of Job. I had everything, and all of a sudden one day all my shit was just gone, right?
And when you say your shit was gone, are you talking about your ideas were gone, or somebody took all your work? I mean, what are we talking about? All of it, everything.
Like this one woman that Henry introduced me stole a whole show of mine and went to Japan with it. You know what I mean? And Henry
called it as hers?
Well, no one knows where the fuck she is.
Oh, she just took all your work and who knows what you did with it.
Yeah. And so in terms of that is just boo boo. But then damn, dude, I really want to remember this person's name, but I can't at the moment. He changed my life because it was all about the instant, the moment. Because anything that is spiritual is invisible. The air is invisible, electricity is invisible, all that kind of crap, right? And the way your body functions is invisible. You don't know how that shit's happening. And so what he would do is he would take these stones and he would build standing stones next to the tide of the ocean or the river base, and he would limit himself to building until the tide came, knowing that the tide was going to knock it down. And that's the other part of what life is, right? Knock down once, stand up 8 times. What do you do on the ninth time? Something's going to happen, but you have to persevere in your own dream. And, art is the master teacher of problem solving. There's always something that's going to come up, always something you're going to have to negotiate.
Terry says it's really not cool about the whole Japan thing. She's feeling for you.
Oh, I just hope I didn't insult nobody.
I think you're okay.
Okay, well, yeah, that's all I have to,
Thank you, Terry, for that comment.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I'm good. I'm done.
You're done? All right, so this mentor then helped you, I guess, shift your mindset? Is that what, I mean, ultimately in just a couple of words? Or maybe
well, that's like the second, you have many mentors.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And the first and this is the craziest story, is Dee Dee Halleck, right? She was an independent filmmaker in the 60s, and she wrote all the bylaws for filmmaking and presented them to Congress and the Supreme Court, and then one day, I was, walking through campus and run into Dee Dee, and she's like, "Hey, Derrick, what's up, Dee Dee?" In her cool, I love that woman. Right? She's all like, "What are you gonna do with your life?" First question you can ask someone who's like 23. What are you talking about? Talking crazy, Willis. just landing. She's all like, we need to talk about what you're gonna do. I said, okay. And she's all like, okay, so come to my office at 2 in the morning.
Really?
Okay.
Now, is she sort of an administrator at this point?
She's a professor.
She is a professor there. Okay.
So.
And this is at school, at college.
UCSD.
Okay. Oh, UC San Diego.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
That's where you did your undergraduate.
Yeah.
And your master's was over at Cal Arts. Oh,
yeah.
See, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So I get there and she's all like, "So what do you want to do?" And I said, Dee Dee, I told you before, all I want to do is not work for a corporation. And she's all like, "I think you should go to art school." And I was like, I didn't verbalize it, but I'm thinking in my head, "Oh, you all crack. Lady, you all crack."
Wait a minute, what was your master's, I'm sorry, your degree at UCSC in?
Communications.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So, and it started off with computer science, which I quickly was like, you know what? There's people who do this better than me. So, I switched to communications. So I'm talking to Dee Dee. She's like, "Yeah, you should go to art school, and I think you should go to Cal Arts." I don't even know what Cal Arts is. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just shaking my head. Meeting's over. I go home, go to sleep. Right? She calls me up. She's like, "Hey, I'm leaving at 2:30. Come over at 2:15. Okay. Get there at 2:15. This woman knows me so well. Like, too well. She brings out this envelope like, "Mom! It's got a train ticket. It's got an itinerary. It's got money for me to get dinner and lunch. It's got the people I need to talk to." And I'm like, holy shit. I guess I'm fucking going to art school.
So she set up, she just talked to you. She already had a vision for you. And you didn't even know what this vision was. And she just, out of nowhere, she gets in contact with all the people that she needs to get in contact with.
Yeah.
She provides you with the means to get there. She provides you with food and everything you need to get there and see the campus and make a big decision. I wish I had some tissue for you.
Yeah, that's all good.
And she just, out of nowhere, she just comes and she brings you this envelope with all the things that you need in order to take the next step.
Yeah, and there was no bums. Alan Sekula, Charles Gaines, Karen Atkinson. She's
who are these people?
Like, they're heavy hitters at Cal Arts, like, world renowned and stuff. And it's just like, you just want to get back.
So she got you there, and you got to school, And okay, so are you still in contact with this woman?
Yes, I am.
That's awesome.
Not as much as I should be, because I'm a little embarrassed, but
Why would you be embarrassed?
because doing more.
Derrick, you are manifesting your art in every single moment of the day.
Yeah, but I should be doing more.
Really? Isn't this the mantra of every person on the planet? You're never doing enough. There's hardly a person on the planet that walks around that thinks that they're doing enough.
Well, we all have to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
You know,
But,
it doesn't go away.
Yeah. Well, it does go away. You have to think that you're enough.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. You're enough and not enough.
Right. Well, let's talk about this new adventure that you have. What you are now doing. Because you moved here, what? Has it been 2 years, 3 years?
Two and a half.
Right before the pandemic. You moved back down to San Diego because LA just wasn't happening for you anymore.
Yeah.
So you moved down here. I definitely did not know what was going on down here, whether you were making art, showing art, anything, any contacts. But now I got the biggest surprise of my life that you are now a caterer.
Pursuing that, yes.
So tell people about what you're doing. Cooking is a big deal. This is nourishment on a big level.
It's a good thing, but it's like really kind of so personal for me that I can't talk about it at this moment. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be a hard ass or anything like that. It's just really emotional right now.
Okay. Can I talk about it a little? Is that all right? All right. So basically what I know from my 2-minute conversation before we got here is that Derrick has been making food for people, contracting food out and parties. And is it just for art galleries and that sort of thing? Or
well, you know,
across the board.
Good friends, weddings, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
And he's just finding his rhythm in providing sustenance for others and expressing his creativity in that way.
Because, this part I can talk about, because one of my things is that here in America, we've lost the ideal of the festival, right? It's like everything stops at the art. Everyone just like, if you went to go to Chinatown, LA, and go to an art show, where are most of the people? Outside, not looking at the art, right? So, to me, there's a lack of celebration of life, and we need to incorporate that more, right? That's healthy. That's like, we're in such a state of lack mentality that really just needs to change. Just really.
So, in providing services to people, in which you are providing joy through food. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah, joy through food. I mean, this is your contribution.
And lack of repeating the word, it's my joy.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It's just like to see how people around the world can cook the same thing in the many different varieties, to me is amazing. And to be able to participate in their culture just for a minute, you know what I mean? Like, people think about, like, they always throw this term around, like culture vulture and all this crap, all right?
Culture appropriation.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's what happened to wonder? What happened to wondering? What happened to wondering if you were black? Wondering if you were Chinese? Wondering if you were Hispanic? Wondering if you were Greek? Wondering if you're German, Italian, whatever, and so on and so on. We need to wonder.
That's a really beautiful way to put it. You know what I really love about cooking? I don't know. Do you know this about me? I was a chef for a while.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was a chef for like 5 years.
Okay.
But one of the things I really loved was that no matter what I made, if I provided you with the recipe of exactly how I made it, and you did it, it doesn't come out exactly the same.
Oh.
Isn't that the greatest thing ever?
It's like one of my favorite scenes from Water for Chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Put the passion in there, right? Motherfuckers start sweating and shit, and you see that when you cook. Like you can go, because you go through the whole hero's journey. You start off and you're like, oh, I had to go get all this shit. No one's helping. I'm chopping this shit up. Is it even worth it? Blah, blah, blah. Then they eat it, and you're like, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it's boom. It's like right after you peak on mushrooms, right? Everyone starts talking, put on the music. There'll be some dancing, maybe some romancing going on a little later. But you have created you made lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah. That's what I always thought was so beautiful, because the emotions that you are working with while you're making the food, they translate right in there.
Yeah.
It's like you're feeding everybody.
Yeah.
So you better think about love while you're cooking. Because you're literally putting it into the food, and then people are ingesting it.
Yeah. You go to Carl's Jr. and the motherfucker in the back scratching his butt all pissed off. Guess what? You got a shitty burger.
Do not ruin this for people.
Well, that's true, right? You got a booty burger.
Oh my God.
With cheese. Not just like.
Oh, this is taking a bad direction. All right. Is there anything any last parting words that you would like to provide people with that they can take with them in their creation?
When you go to sleep at night, if you have a king size bed, do snow angels.
This is your parting words. Do snow angels in your king size bed?
Because you're not homeless. You better do snow angels.
Yeah.
You ain't homeless. And you got some clean socks, some fucking clean fucking underwear that are not like fucking cardboard. So.
And I'm gonna say this just in case any of you are wondering. He's not homeless right now. He's not homeless. Just in case. I didn't even want to go there, but I just wanted to tell you this comment. He's not homeless. So, here we have a bigger comment. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see this. It's hard in the sun. I think this is still Terry.
Terry.
And the table. I love to create atmosphere with an elegant and fun table. Yes, I make the experience of the food better.
Yeah.
There's more here. That is kind of the lost art too.
Yeah, the festival, man. It's the festival.
The festival. The celebration.
Celebration.
All right, so snow angels in bed, be thankful.
Woo! Ghost ride the whip. Ghost ride the whip. No.
I don't even know. I am so out.
Right in my Oakland.
What the heck?
No, well, that's where you ghost ride the whip.
Oh, is that real?
Yeah.
There's so much I don't know.
She's wearing a silk cap. That's what
I'm so sheltered. All right, people. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Terry.
Thanks for joining us. Special shout out to Terry. I'll see you all on the next one. Thank you. Bye.